hit the record on them like that.
That's nice.
All right, we recording?
Yo, chat.
Yo, this your mother's favorite lover, Rell Peasley.
Yo, shout out to What's a Good Guy.
Shout out to What's a Good Guy. I got them scheduled to come on the podcast.
Oh no, I gotta come down there.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up that day. That's classic.
Yeah, we doing What's a Good Podcast. That's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah. I like how they've expanded. I like how, they got Cheyenne on there and Kojo
Shout
on there.
Shout out to Kojo, man.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know
I'm gonna take these off, man.
Yeah, you better, bro. Get that shit.
Got my voice in a box.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's levels, Benny.
Yeah.
It's levels.
I'm not pod daddy yet.
Yeah, take it easy. You know what I mean? You ain't earned your headphones.
No headphones yet.
This nigga want to walk in and just demand headphones.
Like I do this all the time.
Like you do this all the time. Nah, you just do. You did. You had the podcast.
No. Again, shout out to Gabe.
Shout out to Gabe.
You got to get him on the podcast.
Nah, Gabe is a movie. You know what? Yeah, I do.
We gonna make that
bro.
call.
Gabe is a movie, man. But it's another episode of Rell Gato TV. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that you tap into my brother, man, Benny Musa. Make some noise.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the voice I put on, try to sound super smooth. Yeah.
I don't know where we should start. I don't know where we should go with this one.
I don't know.
I would introduce you, but everybody know who you are, Benny. Like, they know me, they know you, they know what we've done, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Let's start with, how are you today? How's your mental health?
Yo, my mental health is top notch.
Good
I ain't
job.
gonna lie.
Okay.
It's doing gymnastics and jujitsu against this world that we're living in today, and it's
Gym-jitsu.
It's gym-jitsu. I'm blocking all kind of hateration in this.
And holleration.
Listen, man. But I'm really good.
Yeah.
I guess I can get into it. I just came from Brazil.
Benny, tighten up. Yeah, bro. It's act like you don't know how to engineer, bro. What is this?
I'm trying to be talented today.
We got to balance the whole, you know what I mean, the mic stands and all that. I got to get the back plate, like the weight, so that, but try lowering it just a little bit on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Like
this is how you know he rusty. He don't engineer no more. He done left the engineering world alone. He don't know how to adjust a mic stand.
I'm an artist.
Unbelievable.
There you go. All right.
All right, you good?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's try this again, Benny.
All right.
Mental health, doing gymnastics or gym-jitsu. All right.
Yeah.
And you was getting into where you just came from. Where you just came from?
I just came from Brazil. Yes. Yes. Tutu bim.
A lot of jujitsu out there.
A lot of jujitsu.
Brazilian jujitsu.
Yeah.
The story behind that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Oh, I want to hear that.
All right. So basically, it was a particular school that started and originated in Japan, and the sensei of that school had sent one of his students, if I remember correctly, out to Brazil.
What was the date?
So I don't know. It's back in the day.
Okay.
So it was jujitsu at first, and then they got sent out to Brazil, and it became Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So the locks and the mechanics are relatively the same, but I think Brazilian jiu-jitsu is even more like you could do more.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because certain things you can't do when you playing like jiu-jitsu in its original form. Certain locks are prohibited.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But jiu-jitsu, like, you could lock the elbow, you could do this, you could do that, because that, let me tell you, jiu-jitsu, if you get a guy who knows what they're doing, and they start really flexing, especially if they know how to fight, like boxing and wrestling, and then they get you on the ground and do jiu-jitsu, you're dead.
It's dead.
You're dead. If you don't know it, bro, they'll kill you.
They'll kill you, yeah.
Like, they take your arm, a full rider, take your arm out the socket, take your arm out, beat you with the arm, then wrap it around your neck and choke you with it.
Nah, what?
I'm serious.
Well, that's interesting because Brazil got a very interesting history where like there's a lot of Asians over there.
Yeah.
So so it makes total sense what you're saying.
Yeah, that's I could see how that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Asians, Germans are over there. Like it's kind of super. It's more. I feel like it was more mixed in than even out here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like out here it's mixed, but like cultures stay to themselves. Yeah. Out there, like everybody's just like all over the place. You know what I mean? You almost can't tell what's what and who's who. It's like it's just all one thing. So.
Benny, I'm taking my headphones off too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
I believe in myself. The audio's rocking. I'm taking headphones off too. I'm like, yo, bro, we got a match.
Yeah.
All right, so Brazil?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And how long you was out there?
11 days. Yeah, 11 days.
Did you see a lot of BBLs, Benny? Is that,
So I was in Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo, and you didn't really see a lot of that.
So where did they get the BBL concept from?
The BBL concept, I think, is
it's Brazilian butt lift.
It is, but I think it's more like when you get into like Rio de Janeiro. I think that's where like
that's where the booties is getting lifted.
That's where the booties is getting lifted.
Yeah.
Like where I was at felt more like Cali.
Okay.
Like LA.
Okay, so they had an art scene.
A huge art scene.
They got a new style of music too, Brazilian funk.
Oh, it's fire.
It's fire?
I was trying to go to a spot where like they had that, but
yeah.
I had some people out there that put me onto a couple of artists. I forget the names off top, but I've been studying that. And yeah, like they got like their own world going on, man. It's like 11 million people over there?
Dang.
In one city?
Dang.
That's more than New York, and you can tell because it's like everywhere you look for miles is just like high rises, and you know what I'm saying? So you can tell there's a lot of people, living over there. It's a beautiful city though, beautiful city.
And what you do out there?
I was well, they don't know, but I do like sound design and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna act like I didn't know.
Okay, well, nah, I do like sound design for like performance arts and theater and stuff like that.
So a long way from rapping.
I'm telling you.
You rap niggas better get some skills, man.
Yeah.
Don't come to the studio saying you can rap. Nah,
we ain't trying to hear that.
I ain't trying to hear that, bro. You better engineer this session, bro.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So no, I was out there like performing basically like I had this turntable and I was playing old records. And I work with Ableton a lot, so in Ableton I'm able to like manipulate sounds in a way.
Yeah.
So we had like this it was like a 4-point system, like like basically 4 speakers surrounding the whole sort of like warehouse that we were in. And I was just, throwing sounds around like dogs barking and just like different atmospheric stuff and just like, just curating a vibe for the most part. You know what I'm saying? While they were dancing and making movements that were like, it's like a different level of art where it's like everything has an intention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I every time I'm with the artist, her name is Nora Chipamati.
Shout out to Nora.
Yeah, Nora. She's from Zimbabwe.
Okay. The motherland.
The motherland. And every time I'm around, it's just sit down and go to school. You know what I'm saying? And just really learn how like, how this high level art is really supposed to be laid out. You know what I mean? And how to really story tell other than just like the one medium that you're in. So yeah, it was dope.
You know what I love for you, Benny? The fact that you stopped audio engineering in a local scene and you took it international.
Yeah.
Like I love that because I feel that it has helped you gain such a worldly perspective. And I mean, obviously you're my brother, I love you, right? So I want you to have great experiences, right?
Yeah.
And one of, I think, the greatest experiences that you can have outside of, just seeing your children being born and, stuff like that, is traveling.
Yeah.
Seeing the world, seeing different cultures, hopping on these 15-hour flights and landing in a place you've never been in and, creating these experiences, man.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. You've been a lot of places.
Yeah.
The sound thing has taken you a lot of places.
Yeah, man.
Did you see this taking place when you started off making music, rapping?
Making music, yeah, because we all start out with that dream that like, yeah, I'm gonna tour the world with my music and all that kind of stuff.
Descendant lived it though.
Descendant,
He's been everywhere.
That's another one too. Shout out Descendant. Man. I think did I know that I'd be around the world? I had like a inkling of it. I wouldn't say it was like fully like, yeah, I'm finna be around the world. You just want to get as big as possible. How I did it though, I didn't know. I had no clue. Yeah. You couldn't have told Benny at 19, 20 years old, yeah, bro, you're gonna be like being paid for your art. You're gonna be moving around and doing art stuff and installations and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nah.
What was the one that you did that like you really was like, damn, I can't believe I'm here?
Paris.
Talk about Paris.
Man,
Oui.
Nah, Paris is one. Okay, so if you go back, I think Vienna is the first time I've been like out of over the pond, as they call it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that was cool because it was like, oh, impromptu. Like I had no idea I was gonna go there. I just got a call literally a week before I was supposed to leave.
Right.
And in this country, and you know what I'm saying, like where Beethoven was, like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Beethoven, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, and just being
talk spicy, Vinny.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk polite. Go fire on these.
I'm trying to learn German. I'm out here with the peoples. Like, nah, but Paris is because, like, first of all, you know, it's one of those legendary cities like New York that you hear about all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You hear about how synonymous it is with New York. You hear about all these stories about, you know, all these creative people that were in Paris and doing it. You know, Kanye's like a crazy uncle right now, but we still love him. And
bro,
him and Jay made a song about it. Like it is what it's
legendary. They played it like 30 times.
You know what I'm saying? And if you into just like culture, like the fashion and all that, like
you got to be there.
You got to be there.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
So I touched down, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah,
like this is the first time I'm seeing a city that's so old. Like you can damn near like
kick a building down.
You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like
Vinny out here just kicking architecture and it's falling apart.
And it's just like
real
deep history that goes, you know, way before America.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, wow, like I'm here. I'm looking at the Eiffel Tower. I'm like, what? Like,
yeah, that is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? This was right after the Olympics, so like, you know, you still seeing the Olympic circle.
Yeah.
Like I you know, I'm really blessed because like these are things that people, I understand that these are things that people will never see like ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Olympics is every 4 years. I got a chance to at least like see like what the vibe is for an Olympics. People ain't never really gonna go to Paris like that. And I'm literally staring at the Eiffel Tower and then being like, oh, but I can come here again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That starts clicking and you're like, oh, nah, this is accessible actually. Yeah, like going to the Louvre, right? Like you see the building on TV and you're like, yo, like I want to go there. And then you're in the line. Then you're in the museum. Then next thing you know, you're looking at the Mona Lisa.
Like, she's butt ugly to me. She's butt ugly.
Mad small. It's like the smallest thing ever.
Yeah,
like,
It's hyped up. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that is like impressive is that she is looking at you in the whole entire room.
Now that is creepy.
That is creepy. But then if you think about it from like an artistic level, it's like, yo, he just like, how do you just to know that this was gonna happen?
Like, that's very crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's crazy when you sit and think about it.
So I could see why it was so impressive.
Yeah.
And then you know, you look at this painting that's like 20 feet high, and it's like, you know, they got the story in the Bible about Jesus going to that wedding.
Yeah.
And he's making, you know, he turns the water into wine and everything because his mom was like, yo, like.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Yeah, like, come on.
Yeah.
So he makes the water into wine.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. Shout out to Benny Musa.
Shout out to Benny Musa.
But you look at, you're looking at this painting that's huge, and you just look at Jesus and he's just sitting there like.
This is what I do.
This is what I do.
Amen.
And I'm just like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, it was Paris really blew me away in that aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that for you, man. Like, I'm so happy. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy that you have been able to travel. You know, I love traveling too. I've been to a couple of places outside of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I do remember like just the feeling of being in a completely different location away from my comfort zone and then coming back and having like a different perspective of what's in front of me. Yeah. You know, like that is so important. I'm due for a long distance trip though. But I think I'm going to Thailand.
Okay. And we know why. We know why, ladies in the chat. We know why.
I gotta kick some shit.
He about to kick the heck out of a tree.
I gotta see what these shits are made of.
What was that movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Just kicking a bamboo. Just kicking it, Benny.
Yo. First of all, chat. I know I keep saying chat.
Yeah. You can say get the comment section.
Yeah.
To the comment section. I got one commenter.
Y'all one commenter?
Yeah.
Who's that? What's his name?
I don't know.
Well, shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
You. Don't make it plural, baby. We ain't get to the... We're not what's a good guy yet, so
Facts.
We're working on it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if you've ever seen this man kick yet. You should really make some content out of that.
I did. I put a reel up, like a short of me kicking the bag. So... You know what's so crazy? I got a rib injury right now. Mm-hmm. I'm actually relearning how to kick properly.
Oh, man, you were telling me this too, yeah.
Like I'm because now, like my ribs, bro. First and foremost, bro, this rib injury is annoying. Mm-hmm. Like this shit is taking forever to heal, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, and I'm kind of dumb because I keep training on it.
Yeah.
Even my coach is like, bro, you can't be sitting here trying to grapple and all of this crazy stuff. But I like the art. So, but I'm learning. Like today, I was working on it. And I'm just slowing it down and dialing with every technique. And I'm like, oh, I see where I was going wrong. Like, you know, so it's always crazy. Like, you think you know something and then you go back to it, revisit it, and then, you know, you relearn it again, and then you just build upon it. So I love that about martial arts. Like, that's my favorite thing. It's like building it up to break it back down and build it up again. Yeah. You know, and you're constantly learning new techniques and, you know, just more of your controlling of your body. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
So I definitely know what you're talking about because I do that a lot with like my basketball training.
You think you're ready for Kojo? Kojo be bugging.
Kojo be wilding. He be. I'm getting ready though.
Yeah, Rain not so much. Shout out to Rain.
He can rap though.
He can rap. That new project is fire. Rain.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I bought that. So yeah. I can insult you, sir, on my podcast if I want to.
Shout out to Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, but. So the question I was gonna ask you is like really, like break down the art of martial arts, right?
Break down the art of martial arts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can only break it down from one perspective, right? But if you look at what it is, martial arts is like any other art form. It's true expression, and so. As a martial artist, and I can't call myself a martial artist because I haven't been training for that long, but I could say as a student, and a aspiring martial artist, that it's one of those things where you learn the art form so that you can break the rules and then make it your own art form and make it your own expression. So what I mean by that, like. So you'll see me kicking the bag, right? And you'll see me doing a basic low kick. And that's me doing the fundamentals. But once I got that, if I put in 10,000 kicks on each leg, 20,000 kicks on each leg, I do one thing slightly different than my opponent, and now it becomes an art. You get what I'm saying? So same thing. And then when you look at it, that's why you have so many different martial artists with so many different fighting styles. Like you'll look at, because boxing, a lot of people don't think it, but boxing is martial arts.
Yes.
So Floyd Mayweather's boxing style or his martial arts style is completely different from Tyson's.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when you watch it, and then you watch it in slow motion and you see the milliseconds and the movement and the perfect timing, then you're like, wow, this is really beautiful. Like sometimes you watch the fight and it's happening so fast, you don't think that, and you're watching it on TV, you don't think how fast that kick is. You just like, oh, you just got kicked. But then when you see it in person, or better yet, when you try to do it yourself and then you see how hard it is, then you have a respect for it. Like it took that guy years to perfect that high kick so that he could just throw it at a whim. And that to me, from my perspective, is martial arts. It's truly a craft. And then it's a lot of mental to it too. Because you're essentially, when you join a school, you're pushed to your limit. Right? A good school will push you to your limit. And then the goal is to take you past your limit. It's to take you to a place where you're doing things that you never thought you could do. If you would have told me a year ago that I can do a high kick to somebody's head, I look at you like you're crazy.
And these ball means.
Not these Amiris.
Yeah.
You better stop it. You know what I'm saying? But now, looking back and looking at the progress, I'm not saying I could sit up there and kick my forehead, but it's way better than what I can do last year. And that's what it is. It's constantly stacking on your skill set. But I really enjoy. Shout out to Brooklyn MMA. Shout out to Coach Terry. Shout out to all of the coaches there. Shout out to all of the guys that I work with, man. I'm very grateful for all of y'all because I've seen my life improve through martial arts.
That was going to be my next question. Like, how do you feel like it's made you better? Do you feel like it's made you better? Or like?
Yeah. I mean, it actually, for me, it makes me not want to do violence. Because, like, I realize the average person is not violent.
Yep. Neither do they really know how to.
Right. Yeah. So when you realize that, and you realize, like, okay, you're receiving something in a craft, and you're working on this particular craft, and you can do things that the average person won't do or even think to do in a combat situation, you then kind of develop a level of empathy. I find myself avoiding things even more because of the things that I've learned. And not by any stretch of the imagination, I am not a master martial artist. Let me just say this. I am still a student. But I've learned and accumulated certain things that the average person does not understand or work on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'll go for an arm bar and the average person won't even know what I'm trying to do.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a ground situation.
Yeah.
You know, or I'll go for a particular choke or, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but it has made me definitely more empathetic, especially when you have training partners as well, because when you're sparring or you're training with somebody, the key thing is self-control, right? And having the discipline to keep the technique in a heated situation.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's very easy. Once you start getting hit, it's very easy to like.
Very easy. Yeah. Very easy to go back to old habits. And then when you go back to old habits, someone who's a skilled martial artist, they'll take advantage of when you mess up.
Man, shout out to you for even like, you know, just falling into that for real.
I mean, I needed to.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was talking to G-Roy last episode, like, this is the first time, and I was talking to Sensei, this is the first time in my life that I'm part of an organization that I'm not the founder of and I don't set the rules for. And so it allows me to fall in line as a soldier as opposed to a leader where everybody's looking for you to kind of make a decision.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm learning new leadership processes by the way of Coach Terry. I'm learning new leadership processes by the way that I got the guys that I work with, all of the coaches, the guys who have more experience, you know, the guys who are black belts in Taekwondo and guys who have experience in Judo. So, you know, it feels good to walk into a space where I don't know the outcome as opposed to this where I know everything. This is my domain. And I, you know, it's so crazy. I prayed to God for that. Like, I told God, put me in rooms, in places where I can learn, and I don't know everything. Yeah. In martial arts and tech, those two rooms, here I am in these two rooms.
Wow, incredible. Have you ever considered somebody a mentor?
Yeah, I have mentors. Shout out to my brother James. Shout out to my brother E. Shout out to my brother Sensei, especially now since we do martial arts. Yeah. And he's a practitioner of martial arts. And, you know, he's watching me kind of develop on my journey, even though I'm relatively a late bloomer. I do have mentors. I mean, I got my bro Jack. Shout out to him in terms of On My Way to Church. Shout out to my dog Troy. We peers, but I also learned from him. You have been a mentor to me in a lot of different ways. So, yeah, I could say I have mentors.
Speaking about that episode with Troy was not Troy. Sonny Hayes.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sonny Hayes. Yeah, his real name is Troy. Yeah, I'm sorry, Troy. You're calling from... What'd you think about that, man? That was intense, right?
Bro, I had to really be like, yeah, I gotta pick up my Bible again, like for real. They talk about they say that the Bible is like is the living word, like that's why, because you will always meet people who will like you know, sharpen your sword on it, or like, you know what I'm saying, or make you say, no, I need to pick up my sword again, like, right. You know what I'm saying,
right? And
so I'm watching y'all, you know, converse, and I'm like, yeah, this is through the screen. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, let me look at this verse real quick. Like I'm really, you know what I'm saying?
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord for that. God, because that is the whole point. That was the whole purpose of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to waste words. Like, what we really talking about? Like, really in life. Like, what are we really talking about? You have your loved ones.
Yeah.
You have beautiful experiences of travel. And then you got God.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And everything kind of circulates around those three things. You know what I'm saying? God first, your family, and your experiences, right? And that is what makes the totality of your life. And then you get things to take care of your family. You get things to fund your experiences. You get things to, but it's always, from my vantage point, those are the three top priorities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want, in going to experiences, like, so what I mean by experiences, like you're experiencing travel. I'm experiencing learning martial arts. These are all things that we're learning, right? You're experiencing fitness through basketball. I'm experiencing fitness through martial arts. So this is all part of the experience process of being a human being.
Yes.
But that's really all we got. So when I talk with Troy, it's like we're not really trying to waste no words. We talking about the glory of God. You know what I'm saying? And the power of our testimony. And the whole goal is for us to not tell you to look at us as the end all be all, but look at God. And if it makes any person look at their relationship with God over, then we've done a good deed.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm happy. I'm very thankful that, you know, you felt the spirit to open up the book again.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and even if it's for research purposes, it's still going to serve, you know?
Yeah. And like, what also was interesting too is that like,
oh, close to the mic, man.
Oh.
You know, these are the SM7Bs.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I know you're a little rusty. I know you're international.
What also was interesting was the fact that I've known both of y'all separately and like that we're all connected at the same time too.
Right.
And just hearing, and then like, because I've been on the journey with you for a minute, so I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm like, nah, but I could like, I seen all of that. Like, I know exactly what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
It was real.
And that's how you, that's why it touched me so much. Cause like, no, I was there for that. I was there for this event. I know who and what he's talking about. Yeah. Even though he's not saying names or whatever, I'm like, nah, but I was there.
Oh, there was no cat. Because like one thing that I've noticed since my walk with God is that I have to be honest with myself to the best of my ability. And when I get on the show, the whole intention is to show people that you're not the solution, gang. Like God is the solution. Yeah. I don't care who you think you are. Yeah. God is the solution. Yeah. You didn't make yourself. Amen. You didn't decide yourself to be here. That's only allowed by the grace of God.
Yeah, it's true.
So why am I going to sit up there and lie on my imperfections and my humanity? Nah, I'm going to give it to you real. I mess up. Just like every other human being. We mess up as human beings. But the whole goal is to give it back to God and continue to pray that God keeps us on the path to him because he's righteous. I'm just a regular man. I'm just a chill guy. Yeah, Benny. Yeah, man. That episode was very powerful, man. Shout out to Troy. And it's funny because I had him set up to do the episode on Friday and I ran into him on Thursday. Ah, wow. And we was in the city and he had a studio session and I pulled up to the studio. We was just chopping it up. And we just was like, wow, man, like God is really doing a good work. Like we could have been anywhere in the world because he's been to Japan. He's been in the military. He could have been. But here we are sharing time and space together and we testifying to the glory of God. And we're talking 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? 20 years later. Because I remember me and him playing basketball in the backyard. So these are real like experiences. And, you know, shout out to my dog Sonny, man. You know, Forever Grateful 241 Records, man. Make sure y'all go and tap in with them because they're doing great work too, man. You know, they got a good vlog series going on. Sonny's working on music. I love to see my brothers thriving, and I love to see God doing the work in my brothers' hearts, man. It's a beautiful thing, you know?
Man. A testament to how much like how the type of the quality of people that you've interacted with and the quality of interactions you've had with people. Because every time I talk to somebody that knows you, it's very much like like if it wasn't for Rell, I wouldn't have been able to do this or know about this or whatever the case may be. And I think like that's a true gift from God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you're able to influence and even at your lowest point that we talk about all the time, you still were able to pull the most out of people and make and have them do better than where they were at before.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing.
My pops always said the greatest gift is to be able to give, because that means you have it already. So by no stretch of the imagination am I a perfect person. No stretch of the imagination have I hit the nail on the head every time and I've given perfect advice. But I think what I notice about myself with people in general is I think I'm more empathetic than people understand.
Yeah.
It may come off harsh sometimes when I tell you the truth, but it's only because I empathize with you that I don't want to lie to you. So it may be like, damn, Rell kind of foul. And I could agree. Sometimes my delivery is terrible.
Yeah.
But here's the reality. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
And would you rather me tell you the truth if I see something messing up or seeing you going down the wrong path, or would you rather me not say anything at all? Because there's some people that let you just crash out.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, well, you really my friend.
Right.
They'll introduce you to the crash out.
Right. No, absolutely.
And before you know it, when the stuff hits the fan, they're gone. They're on to the next. So it gets tricky. Yeah. But all the things that I've done for people, if I've helped you out on the way, like I thank God, because God has given me enough to give to you.
Yeah.
And that's very important for me.
Yeah.
Very important. What do we do with this company, man? We can talk about it on air. I don't care. This is our podcast, man. We can say whatever. Red Autumn, we're falling apart.
My fault.
Nobody's buying these raps.
Nobody's
buying these beats.
You see the whole
let me get a cookie, Benny. I'll buy you another. Yeah. What's going on?
The whole industry is hitting a
dookie butter.
For real. So like
thank you, sir.
I'll take one too.
Thank you, sir. Indulge.
I'm not so much into, well, let me phrase it like this. I don't think the way is selling records, and we talk about this all the time. I think the records is just a cool way to tell the story. And if you have the ability to do it at a high level, then do it. Actually, if you have the ability to do it, just do it, honestly. If your story is compelling enough, the people are going to gravitate towards it. You don't have to do nothing. Like, just, you do have to do stuff, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not this rocket science thing. I think people are trying to be, and I was one of them too, are trying to be famous so bad that it just like, it ruins the integrity. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you're going to have at the end of the day.
Yo.
Because if you don't have it, we're watching what's happening.
Yo, there's a Rico every day.
Yeah, every day.
Yo, I was talking to Fritz the other day. Shout out to Fritz. I love him, but we just go back and forth all the time. I love him, but we go back and forth because his perspective, I just don't agree with. And we were talking about, and I'm going to say this because you were there for this time period. You're a part of this time period. I was talking about Chef G, right? And I was talking to him in regards to, I'm going to be transparent. I don't care who see this podcast. The responsibility that I have, that you have.
Yeah.
And even though we didn't make some of his life choices and decisions, we, along with the crowd and along with the consumers and the fans and the supporters and all of this, we all participated in the contribution to keeping the character of Chef G, or keeping the artist of Chef G relevant.
Absolutely.
And I told him, and he said, Rell, you can't take responsibility. Well, I said, listen, first and foremost, you weren't there when we were putting together some of these songs. You wasn't there. You don't know. So it's very hard for you to say yay or nay. I can tell you from my vantage point, we do have some level of responsibility because those records that blew the kid up came from our studios. We helped put these songs together, arrange these songs. And I'm not talking this new stuff. And I'm not trying to take credit for their writing or their artistry. They developed as artists.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when we first worked with them and they were kids. They were really kids, bro.
I think that's what people don't understand.
They were 18 years old.
Yeah, they were kids. Kids. Absolutely.
And we were young men, but we were so busy chasing something that we didn't quite understand what we were doing with young kids.
Yeah.
You talking these records came out when they were 18, 19. They were still teenagers. And I talked to him and I said, you know, you got to understand the way that these Ricos work with hip hop artists is the more money you have, the bigger the kingpin status that they put on you.
Yes.
Because essentially you're the financier for any sort of illegal activities. And we would have these conversations with him.
Yeah.
I remember like, yo, don't post that. You're getting traction. Don't. And I'm very weary of what I call success now.
Yo.
Because in my mind, this is success.
Absolutely.
I'm here with my brother who I love, and we're doing a pod, we're having a conversation in our studio that we built together, that we made a lot of records in, wearing our merch, where you can buy redautumnyc.com. Make sure you go check it out. Boom. This is success to me. Whether 10 people or 10,000 people see it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm doing something with somebody that I love. And we're free.
Yeah.
We went up to go to the store to just get some chips and cook. We're free.
Yeah.
And these young men can't say that.
Yeah. It took me some time, by the way, to like understand that aspect. That what I thought I wanted was not what it was, right? Like the freedom, the tranquility, the grace.
Right.
You know?
The grace.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, like, even though, yes, like, what do they say? If you do the crime, like you gotta do the time.
Right.
But I also say, like, one, we weren't fully aware of what we were doing. And oddly enough, I don't think we ever had bad intentions that whole time. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because, and this is a story no one's ever heard before. The first time that a label went to come and see Chef.
Yeah.
He called you and he said, yo, I need y'all in the meeting. And you called me. He was like, yo, nah, I don't think I want to do it. And in my mind, I was like, once I was like, okay, I understand. Because you told me why, you know what I'm saying? You broke it down. And then the other side, I was like, what? What are you talking about? So a lot of people don't know. I'm a little, you know what I'm saying? I can be a little tap, but.
Well, yeah.
But I was like, what are you talking about? You don't want to do it. What? This is it. This is it. As a matter of fact, we hung up the phone and I called you back and I was like, bro.
Yeah.
You're bugging.
Yeah.
This is it. And you was like, nah, that's not it. And there's a couple things to that. The first thing is, I said, nah, he stands on 10. This is before that was a phrase to say.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, oh nah, he stands on 10. And this is a part of what made me lock in with you even more so. Cause you wasn't like, yeah, nah, forget what we got going on. We going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Going to the next man's opportunity. And I was like, nah, I rock with that. Like, you need to stand on your own. That was like the first time I had to look at myself as a young man and be like, what are you willing to give up?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the other point is that, again, that goes into the intention. One of the things that you said was like, look, if we are part of putting fuel to this fire, that's exactly what it's gonna be.
Right.
We do not need to be putting our people in harm's way. Right. Because the reality is, he got a lot of heat, and we are also the ones that believe in, like, you got to stick with your people, right?
Right.
So that would have put it, like, we all would. If he's fighting, we're fighting. Like,
it's proximity.
It'd have been proximity.
It's proximity.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we've seen many cases where that has gone completely left. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah. And I understood that. As soon as you said that, I was like, no, you're right. Because I've been in a situation like that where, like, you fighting somebody else because it ain't even on you. It's because of somebody else.
Right.
Somebody else's issues and
I mean,
lack of
this just happened. Sauce Walker just got shot in Memphis. And from what Sauce Walker said, it was not even him being the intended target. So the bullets don't have no name.
No name. Shout out to Nipsey.
So when you look at it for what it is, when I made that decision, because it happened very fast, the No Suburban record blew up very quickly.
Yep.
That was the first time I've ever seen something like that.
I remember the session.
Yeah. So it was like the record was put out, and it was a call later like, yo, Rell, the record's at 100K. Oh, that's crazy.
Crazy. Yep. I remember that.
Then it was another 2 weeks. Yo, Rell, the record's almost at 1 million. I don't know what to do, Rell. All right, pull up to the studio. We do more records. They shoot the video out in the backyard, or in the back of the studio and all of that stuff. And we begin to talk, and we start talking. Yo, Rell, I need your help. I need help. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, well, I can't do it without Benny. Okay, we'll bring Benny along. I mean, obviously, we work in these records. We did a lot of records with them when they were younger.
Yeah.
And then I just started seeing, like, certain things on where it was gonna go, and then I just started seeing the energy around it, and I'm like, damn, Chef is he's a leader. He's a leader.
Yes.
In terms of his personality type.
Yeah.
And now he's getting trajectory, and then once the label started calling, I'm like, okay, they're gonna put money behind this. But now it becomes, you put money behind this, now you incentivize it. And now before you know it, the record is going millions of views. Now we are kind of like falling on the distance, because it's like, bro, we're not even prepared to deal with the type of things that you're going to come with.
Absolutely.
Because now you have a record that you've blown up, and you got a lot of heat for this record, and the resources have still not came yet. So I remember when he called me one time, he's like, yo, Rell, bro, I'm thinking about doing this deal with Nula. And I'm like, yo, bro, just take the deal if they could get you out the hood. Because you can't be in Flatbush, millions of views, talking about what you're talking about, and your moms and your family and this and all of that. You got to go.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And that bought him time. And then you start seeing them grow, and then they got a bigger deal. And then, they started really doing really well. I think in hindsight, if I was to, because I spoke with Sleepy, but it was brief.
Yeah.
Just recently, Fritz had him on the phone. And I just said, yo, bro, take care of your kids, because you could lose all of this stuff in a day. Yeah. We fathers now.
Yeah.
And that's all I could say to him. Because at that point, I don't know what kind of situations he's got going on in the background. He's part of this whole thing that they got going on. Convictions are starting to come. And, from my standpoint, I'm not going to say and get on here and say free such and such. Free. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is, I pray that he gets a different type of perspective. Both of them. And I pray that they get an understanding that no matter what, you're only doing what you're doing because God allows it. And so therefore, since God allows it, take what you're doing and try to give it to him. And put him in front of what you're doing, as opposed to putting yourself in front of what you're doing, and just see the outcomes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because nobody cares, bro. All this gang shit, nobody cares, bro.
Yeah.
You go to jail and you become nothing.
Yeah.
A number.
Yeah.
And all the people that said that they love you,
bye.
They on to the next. Mm-hmm. But then what happens to you after you left over? You only got a handful of people that really rock with you. Mm-hmm. And so those are the people that you take care of. Those are the people that are most important to you. And then you got to put God in that equation. Mm-hmm. Because without that, you'll go right back to the same stuff. You'll be the same dog returning to your vomit.
Mm. Yep. That's well said.
You know, and that's what I was telling Fritz. I said, yo, bro, you know, I didn't make his decisions for him, but I'm part of that. We're part of that thing that added the fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Because he said, you don't know whether or not, this is what he said. He said, yo, whether you did that record or not, they probably still would have been successful, but that's not what happened.
Yeah.
See, I don't like when people talk in hypotheticals. Mm-hmm. No, that's not what happened. Mm-hmm. This is what happened. Mm-hmm. You can say, if we didn't do that record, but that's not what happened. We did the record. Right. They blew up.
Right.
Off of the record.
Right.
And then the rest is history.
Right.
If that record does not come into fruition, there is no blowing up.
Absolutely.
And so I told him, I said, you know, I'm mindful of that now. I just can't be a part of everything now. Mm-hmm. Because people die behind these songs.
Yep.
Let's not play these games. And see, one thing I don't like about certain people, especially with this music stuff, is they play 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nah, bro. We got to call it a spade, bro. And I'm guilty of it, so I'll talk about it. We make songs to kill each other, too.
Absolutely. And not just like, we're not talking physical violence. Like, it's like all of it. Spiritual. It's
all of it.
Mental, it's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, culturally, all that. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Mm. So the question becomes, we talk about this all the time. Why? Oh, here's a good one. Why do we not care anymore?
Oh man. Wow, that's a fully loaded question. I think first and foremost, I think God really opened our eyes to see who we are in Him and who we are in the Lord. And that our value is already established, not by being in the industry, but by our relationship with God. So that's first and foremost. Then I think with me and your relationship in particular, I think that we have learned to have such a high level of respect, consideration, and love for each other that the real success is being able to make dope art with the people that you love. And so it's not that we don't care. It's that we don't care to be what we wanted to be back in the day. We don't care to be a part of what we thought was going to be our version and destination of success.
Yeah.
That's what I really truthfully feel. It's God first. And then secondly, like, we are both enjoying the simple fact that we're not trying to be a part of something. And that we're okay with the fact that we've made dope songs that we listen to. I listen to our music. I listen to your project every day.
Yeah.
Square Rooted is one of my favorite songs of all time, period. Some of those lines that you put in those songs are so powerful. The song that you did at the end of the project, the devil trying to turn me to a pillar of salt, but I got too much sauce. That niggas looking thin like applied lip gloss.
Yeah.
See, I don't drop dinner. I don't burn bridges. I drop bombs, fire like brimstone and napalm. You get the picture. Nikon. Y'all like, yo, this nigga Benny is nice. That's what makes me happy. I don't care if nobody hear it. So what? I heard it. So that's what makes me happy. I love the fact that you are back in it. Because when you are not in it, I'm not excited about it. That's why I started the pod.
Yeah.
I get excited about this, But on the music side, like if you're not involved or if I'm not involved with Fritz, I don't really get too much excitement from it no more because I just think that a lot of it is surface level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as with the team is concerned.
Yeah.
You know, and even going, and I love Fritz. I tell us to, you know, Fritz, you watch this podcast if you like. Fritz, when you come to the conclusion that there is absolutely nothing out there and that everything that you ever wanted is right there in front of you, you just have to look inside of you instead of look outside of you, you're going to be very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to value your time more. You're going to be a better producer. You're going to be a better leader. But the minute you start going outside and looking outside of yourself for the solution, that's where you lose.
That's where you lose. It's true.
Love you, Fritz.
Yeah. That's a fact. I've seen him do some incredible things. You know what I'm saying? When he's locked in. So if you could just like do that for yourself more, you know what I mean? Like sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you feel, Benny, about the music that you've been making and your comeback to making the music? How do you feel about it?
I feel I really feel free, honestly. I don't really like. I remember there was a time where I just felt like I'm gonna make this record and it gotta take me, you know, where it gotta take me, and it's like I don't care. I don't care. I really don't.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna take you right back to here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like I just like it's really freeing. I don't even care about choruses. I don't care about none of that. I'm just like, yo, I'm just making what I want to make. And I've been blessed that that my craft is good and I'm sharp. So I can get away with it.
And you have resources.
And I have resources. You know what I'm saying?
You haven't paid for studio time. Yo, when we booked Platinum, I was just like, yo, this is weird.
This is weird.
But we didn't book it for us. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, this is freeing. The fact that I've inspired some of my friends who are some of the most dopest like artists. Everybody on this project.
We talking about part 2 or part 1?
Part 1 just had me.
Yeah, you had your way on part 1.
Right. But part 2
part 2
has some people on there.
Hello. I was kicking shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I'm excited for whoever's gonna hear the people I brought along with me on part 2, and I want to continue to serve in that kind of way where it's like I'm making these projects and people want to bring their best,
right?
You know what I'm saying, and really shine and really, because that's the thing. Like I didn't create it. God inspired me to lay this bed, you know, or this garden. And people wanted to come and bring their best flowers to it, their best, you know what I'm saying? Like they just wanted to like make it pretty. Like
any features that you have that is like that kind of just blew you away?
Man, everybody blew me away. But I'm gonna say the names. We're gonna start with G-Roy,
bro. Yo, he raps like. It's like he puts you right there during the drug transaction. Like it's so detailed on. I'm not gonna go too much into what he said because I don't want to spoil it. But I mean, damn, like it's like he just pulls you right into just crack sales and Chelsea projects, man. This is incredible. And I hate to say it, but he made his verse so. And first of all, Weez killed that beat.
Weez went crazy.
Shout out to Weez, man. The General Leaf, man.
Oh, I'm excited for him to hear, you know what I'm saying, what we did to that. And there's another beat he has on there too. That he's gonna be real happy when he hears those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible production and G-Roy's voice was just like,
yo.
You know what I'm saying? We can go down the list. I mean,
Rain's verse was crazy too. Rain went dumb. Everybody's verses was fire. Reese Geller.
Reese.
Yo, Reese said to listen to your grandma because she done it and she seen it. I was like, what?
She seen it.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Mark U.
Yo, nah, I ain't gonna lie. Mark U was fire.
Never heard him like that before.
Yeah.
Descendant. I'm glad to do a song with Descendant.
That's the dog, man. Shout out to Descendant, man. I love his spirit. That's one of my favorite people, man. G Major, my heart. Shout out to G.
G is very what that session was about, allowing her to really like unlock for real.
Right. I love her.
I love G.
I love G. I'm so thankful for her.
Yeah.
See, this is what it's all about. Like the people that we've met along this journey and the memories that we created. That's what I was talking about the experiences.
Yeah.
Like when y'all did that session, she didn't even know I was here.
Yeah.
I came in and I was so happy to see her, bro.
Yeah. G's amazing.
Amazing.
G's amazing, man. And I'm glad she was able to express herself in that way. I didn't limit the verses. I wanted them to go as like just go crazy.
Yeah.
You know, this project is like if we were all jazz musicians.
Yeah. Very fusion.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna get an 8 ball of crack and you're gonna get the Panthers that's black. You're gonna get it all.
You gonna get it all.
It was psychedelic.
You know? That's the thing.
Yeah.
And like
I got a verse on it. I got a verse.
Come on. What I don't even want to say the line, but
I'm still nice, bro. I don't care what nobody say, bro. When I feel like rapping, I get into the bag. I can rap, bro. I can rap.
10x my bank account.
Yeah.
A star. What you say? A black star like Marcus Garvey.
I was going crazy, bro.
And even with that,
I'm happy you put me at the end too,
bro. I had to. He was going crazy, and even the journey for that song, where it was like, bro, you didn't even want to rap.
Yeah, I didn't.
You was not trying to rap, and then you heard that beat, and you was like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm always like that. I've always been like that.
Yeah, that's when you get the best work.
Yeah, I'm on the spot with it. I don't like to preconceive and plan and come in the studio with a verse.
Yeah.
That's because I'm a spoiled little bitch. I've always had my studio. So I just sit here sometimes, play a beat and go, all right, I give 3 lines and then I'm out. I'm spoiled. Excuse my language, Lord, for cursing.
I feel like this part 2, if you haven't heard part 1 yet, please go check it out.
Please.
Give me my roses while I can still smell them.
And give them some payment.
Yes, please.
Go buy that.
Go buy that.
Get it on cassette.
Yes. But this second one is just like, to me, more of like the picture of I'm trying to paint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like the session that we had with Rain and Kojo.
Yeah.
Like I felt, and shout out to them, shout out to my leaf Rain. I mean, Kojo, you are honorary leaf too.
Come on. Yeah.
I felt good. I felt good to be around creative people. I felt good to see Kojo in the flow state of how he puts things together, because he's a craftsman in terms of telling a story. I love the way that they did the Rain rollout.
Oh man, yeah. Shout out to y'all for that.
That was amazing. Shout out to Preach. Yeah. Like we've impacted a lot of people, Benny. Speak on that. How does that make you feel? Because you mentioned it to me, but I think people don't give you your roses.
Hey.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you have participated in outside of just my life. And I mean, I could speak for a lot of people, even the ones that was on the project. Like you've impacted them in such a major way as well, in terms of artistry, life. What does that make you feel like to be able to have that kind of power?
To double down.
Wow,
that's what I want to do. I want to be able to do that for more people. You know?
Yeah.
And it's reciprocal. That's a given. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just want to do that for more people. I just feel like when you're aware of your power, the power that's been given to you, you're going to do the one thing you're gonna do is take advantage of it,
right?
Exploit it in a sense. And my thing is, my intentions is to make sure that like I'm continuously uplifting others around me. That like I want to do that even more. So like, how can I do that even more?
Right.
That's why this project was so important to me, to get the features that I got on there, because it was like, yeah, like my intentions for making music this time around is for it to be communal, for it to be a shared experience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It don't make sense just to, when they talk about making music for you, I feel like that's when you're just solely just like, you know, it's just you on every single verse doing your thing and not really trying to exchange stories or have the perspective being in a different lens.
Right.
But when I'm able to like sit down with somebody that I've worked with for a while and help them, you know, do their thing, and then they're able to, you know, participate in what I got going on and even find it like worthy to like do that.
Right.
And then on top of that, be on some like, no, but I gotta come with it because I know he's gonna come with it. I'm like,
right. It makes for great art.
It makes for great art.
It makes for great art.
So I'm happy. I'm motivated. I'm like, again, I'm just blessed like that. People.
How do you feel like this will translate into our company? Because for everyone who doesn't know, okay, I'm gonna get on this mic.
Chat.
The chat doesn't exist. All right, I'm gonna break this down. So Red Autumn, the original company, was founded in East 79th Street in Canarsie.
Mm-hmm.
The original members was, shout out to Beat Genius, Nuff Said Red, Jelani, BC, who was our in-house engineer, myself, D Shata. This is before you even came on board, man. Right. I'm with none of them now. Mm-hmm. It's funny, BC hit me up recently and was like, yo, Rell, if you got some engineer work, let me know. I'm like, yo, bro, I still got some Red Autumn artists. We can send you some stuff if you want to mix it and work on it. So shout out to BC. He's trying to get back in the game.
Cool.
And shout out to everybody who's no longer working with the original phase. Then it became just me. Mm-hmm. And it was a production company, as it is still. Mm-hmm. And then you came on board. Mm-hmm. Then we had the other members. Shout out to them. Mm-hmm. We've done albums. We've done great music. Mm-hmm. And now it is back to just us. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Fritz. And shout out to Weez as a general. And then we have new producers on board. Mm-hmm. And now this is your first time getting back in as an artist, right?
Yeah.
But in this scope, we have commercial property.
Yeah.
We have a studio location in Atlanta fully built. Mm-hmm. We have a screen print and embroidery shop to do merch. Mm-hmm. We have obviously the ability to do podcasts, to do content, to really get our message out. And we have more resources than we've ever had.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think is next for us, Benny? Because I'm struggling with that. Like, I've gotten to where I wanted to get to in a weird way.
Yeah. The first thing I would say is that I think getting over, we have to like take the initiative to initiate all the different aspects again.
Right. It's hard to do it because we're not there.
It's hard to do it.
Proximity.
That's our thing. But I feel like I was reflecting on this.
Reflections. It's a new album.
I gotta laugh because I was reflecting on this while staring on my balcony in Brazil.
Fly shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like I gotta say it. I was on my balcony in Brazil and I was reflecting on this thing where it's like, I feel like sometimes because the work-life balance can be off.
Yeah.
Especially in America, especially in New York.
Yeah.
It becomes hard like to access another state even.
Right.
A plane ticket's not that much.
It's not.
We can go in a weekend if we wanted to, but I just think now is the time to get into the mindset of wait, we're not just not what's the word for it? We're not just in the state, we're interstate, right?
Yeah.
Like the operation has now
it's flipped into real estate.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like we have to get caught up with the moves that we made.
Right.
And so like with this project, and even the one that we're planning to do as a joint. I know we kind of let the cat out of the bag just now.
Yeah.
But we talked about with that project being able to say, okay, not only we're going to do it in Atlanta, but we're also going to activate the merch side of things again and put it on camera, right? Another part of the reason why I'm doing this podcast is because we need to tell the story. We need to be seen. Like
it's such a story.
It's such a story.
Yeah, bro. We touched a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We could go on to things that we did, different projects that we a part of that nobody even thought we was a part of.
Exactly. You know,
deals that we've closed, experiences that but we've just played it so low key.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we don't really like attention too much. If I had to really break down your personality, bro, you don't like to talk. No. You don't like to be seen.
Nope.
Me, I'm a loudmouth, but to be honest with you, I'm that because nobody else would do it if I'm in the room.
Right. But the other side to that is that I love performing.
Right.
When I'm on that stage,
that's a different ball game.
It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm getting creative about the videos and doing it in the way that like the video Reformation.
Right.
At a ball when I did what's that video? The song for my first
I know how to love you. Yeah, you got drowned.
Right.
You made it.
You know what I'm saying? So when I realize the point is that when I'm performing, that's when I can be loud as I want.
Right. Know? Other than that, you tucked off.
I'm tucked off.
Yeah.
And so maybe I have to fuse the two in order for me to be comfortable to always be on camera or always be, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just where it's moving towards. And at the end of the day, like, we're not just doing this for us. Like, so that's another thing.
Yeah, there's another Benny behind. There's another, like, Rell coming up. There's another Fritz coming up. Exactly. So it's like, all right, we tell the story. Mm-hmm. We tell them that, no, keep your integrity.
Exactly.
Keep your integrity. It's okay to not want to be part of everything.
Yeah.
It's okay to stand on what you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And be okay with you not possibly being successful because you stood on what you believe in.
Whatever that means.
You
know what I'm saying? Like if you basing your success off of what they're trying to pitch, no, you're not going to be successful.
You're not going to win. You already lost.
Look. This didn't come from being seen and
no.
pushing a Ferrari and
no.
jewels on the neck.
No.
It didn't come from that.
And it's not much neither. Mm-hmm. Let's just break it down, but it's ours.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to beg for it. We put it together ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the real thing. Like, it's okay to put your hands in the dirt and till the soil.
Yeah.
Everything is not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
But when it's built, and I think that's one thing you mentioned, like, why do you think we just don't care? I think me and you together, we have came to the conclusion that we can struggle together and enjoy the struggling process.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I think about our ride when we drove to Atlanta the first time, packed up the U-Haul, just how exhausted and how tired we was. Mm-hmm. We slept on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we was in an abandoned building. I think about all of these times that, you know, even when I was out there by myself, the building was abandoned.
Right.
I'm sleeping in this sheetrock dust all over the place. I'm waking up. But we had the ability to suffer and get through it so that when it becomes beautiful, we can sit back and remember the process and go, damn, man, I remember we was packed up in that U-Haul, driving through Tennessee, and then we ran in the Foghorn Leghorn
with the belt.
With the belt and the 357 Magnum. No switch. He has 6 shots. But if he hits you with one of them, he He'll blow you, man. He'll shoot you back to slavery.
You'll lose it all.
And he smoked Marlboros, Benny.
Oh, the Long Johns.
Straight KKK member.
Hundreds.
Yo, we had to get up out of there, Benny.
Except.
Because it was about to get some, it was...
He was friendly too.
Yeah, he was like, a friend. Yeah, I know. Howdy. So, in translation, what y'all niggas doing here?
Exactly.
Don't you know?
I will stand my ground.
Yeah, you better get out of here before sundown. You hear? Benny, God bless you, man. Let's wrap it up.
Yo, we can talk. We can do this for hours.
Yeah, I know, bro. Tell them where they can find you at, man. We definitely gonna get a part 2.
Yes, sir. Man, on all socials, but primarily Instagram at Benny _Musa. That's BINNIE MUSA.
That's how you know he ain't on his IG.
Facts. I gotta check it.
You gotta check.
Hopefully it'll be on the bottom or something like that.
Yeah, it won't be because I'm terrible. I don't put nothing in the description. Just Google them.
But just look me up, Benny Musa, BINNIE MUSA. I'll pop up. You'll see me. It's under Young Hana. You know all that. Yeah, you'll see me.
And you already know what it is, man. This is Rell Gato TV. I'm getting my SEO up. So if you just type in Rell Gato TV on Google, you'll see a podcast. You won't see my songs.
Facts. Mad episodes.
Yeah, but I got some episodes in the tuck. I've been rolling them out. This one gonna fly out as soon as we done.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Fly out. My brother called me. He's like, you ain't even color graded. I said, no. Who got time for that?
What?
They gonna get this content. Period.
For sure.
As long as the mic work, the camera's on, they can see us, we good. Yeah. I'll worry about all the fly stuff later because I ain't got that kind of time right now.
Exactly.
But Benny, I just want to say before we close out, thank you, my brother. I owe you millions of thanks.
Thank you.
Just for the walk, the journey, the love, the fellowship, the hard times, getting through the hard times, the loyalty, and I could never done any of this without you, bro. And I wouldn't want to, even if I could. They had to if they put $1 million in cash in front of me and said, you got $1 million in cash or Benny Musa, I'm sorry, it's Benny Musa. You can keep your $1 million. They could put $10 million in front of me, $20 million, $30 million, $40. Now, if they get to the billions, Benny, I'll double back for you. I'm capping right now. They get to the 100 mil.
You might have to reconsider. Do some
Benny, what's your wire? I got you with a 50 ball. 50 mil right on the wire. Boom. You fly where you want, Benny. I won't talk to you, nigga, but you there in spirit with 50 mil. I'd have bought you out too, Benny.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got to part ways. Here's 50 mil on the way out. I'll see you in heaven, man. Just keep praying. Stay with Jesus, man.
Keep the prayers.
Yo, man, Rell Gato TV. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you visit Red Autumn NYC. Cop the merch. New music on the way. Me and Benny, we getting this thing together, man. I feel like this is one that's going to help fuel the momentum for what we got going on because we have been working.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been low, but we've been working. We've been putting things together, but I think now it's time to step. It's time to step and let people know that, we solid. We can still contribute stuff to the creative community. We still got a perspective. We still got things that we can offer. So I'm proud of you, Benny.
Man, thank you.
All right?
Yeah.
Yo, until then, keep God first, man. Peace.